My ex-fiancé is threatening to sue me for ownership of a ring that has been in my family for generations, saying that it automatically goes to the man. Is this true? This is Alabama. I recently broke off an engagement due to my ex being a cheating bad girl. The ring I wore during the engagement was an heirloom willed to me by my late grandmother. It is traditional in my family that this ring is passed to the eldest daughter, and my mother had been keeping it safe for me until I found the one. My ex knew this and asked for it when he asked for my mother's permission to propose. She gave it to him, and he had possession of it for less than 24 hours before he proposed. Now that we've broken up, he's demanding that I give him the ring back. He's insistent that Alabama law makes it illegal for me to keep the ring, that in the event that an engagement ends, the ring must be returned to the man. Period. I looked into it, and all I can find is that the ring belongs to whomever paid for it. When I told him this, he told me that I don't have any claim on the ring, since I didn't purchase it. I was only willed it, and that the fact that it was willed to me is irrelevant, since my mother gave it to him. He's demanding that I return the ring, and any information I have about the insurance policy on it. It's extremely old, and much more valuable than your average jeweler's piece. He says that if I don't return the ring by Monday, he'll sue me for it or its value in court. Can he seriously do this? This ring has been in my family since the 19th century. Does he really own it simply because he's male, or B, it sat in his pocket for less than a day? Would the fact that my mother was only storing it for me to keep it safe maintain the surprise of an engagement matter? It wasn't hers to give away. Too long didn't read. I was willed a family ring, and my ex used it to propose. Now he says he owns it because he's a man, and the ring always goes to the man. He is, indeed, hopelessly stupid. He's still insisting that he didn't cheat on me. His was merely opening his side of the relationship. The day before I left him, he told me he wanted an open relationship, and I totally respect polyamory. But since I am not polyamorous, I don't want an open relationship. He said that that was great news because he didn't want a fully open relationship. He wanted me to stay faithful to him, but look the other way if he slept with someone else. I was flabbergasted that this educated, formerly apparently kind and normal man could be such a ducking moron. I told him if that was what he wanted, we were done. He actually had the balls to say, "No, we're not. Love you, babe. See you tomorrow." When I got to his house the next day to get my things, he was ducking one of his co-workers. On the kitchen table I built him from scratch, and tried to tell me it was no big deal, since they'd actually been together for months, and I'd been happy the whole time. I dodged an intercontinental ballistic missile-sized bullet. I just wish he'd shown his aholiey sooner, and I hadn't wasted 2 years of my life on someone so monumentally selfish and divorced from reality. I made that table out of wood salvaged from his childhood home when it burned down, and he's extremely attached to it, and I know he'll never get rid of it. So I hope that every time he sits down to eat at it, for the rest of his life, he remembers what an unfathomable trash villain he was to me. Knowing that the table will instill him with a lifetime of guilt gives me significantly more satisfaction than the momentary enjoyment I would have gotten out of destroying the table. Plus, I may not be a professional carpenter, but I am pretty good for a gal who does woodworking in her brother's basement. I made that thing ducking indestructible. No way I'd be going at it without at least my chainsaw, which silly me didn't think I'd need when I went to pick up my spare clothes from my bad girl of an ex. Update. I wanted to say thanks for all of the advice and support I got when I posted on here a while back. I was in a pretty shitty place, and I can't describe how awesome it was to have literally hundreds of people telling me what a pathetic douche chill my ex is. As my title suggests, I don't have a thrilling update for you, A lot of you warned me to be on the lookout for him trying to take back the ring himself, which my family and friends were also worried about. I am very blessed to come from a large family. So on Monday afternoon, a few of my male cousins, second cousins, concerned family friends, and their firearms came to my apartment to keep me company. My female cousins didn't want to be left out, so they came too, several of them also toting firearms through a garbled family phone tree. One of my uncles completely misconstrued the purpose of the family gathering at my house and arrived bearing a case of liquor and a massive Publix sheet cake. My grandfather eventually showed up with his banjo and some beautiful pictures of my grandmother wearing the ring in question. As you can imagine, this turned into one of our better parties. And to my congratulations on not marrying, and a whole party will live on in family lore. Since my original post, I've gotten a lot of extremely nice messages and calls from my ex's family, all of whom are currently not speaking to him. His brother called me the day after the table incident to ask what happened, and I told him the truth, which I can only assume was passed around. His dad assured me that my ex won't be trying to sue me for the ring, and told me that if I ever hear from my ex again, I should call his dad and he will bring the pain. He also sent me a gift card for several $100s to Home Depot, in case I ever want to make a better table for a better man. Hopefully, that will be the last thing about this breakup that makes me cry. I also got an ST screening, which turned out negative. My gyno said that everything looked perfect, absolutely pristine. So I may not be getting married in 3 months, but at least I have pristine genitalia. Too long didn't read. Family came to keep me safe in case ex came back for ring. Devolved into raucous family party complete with cake and grandpa on banjo. Ex is experiencing full-on Amish shunning from his family. His dad bought me a gift card to Home Depot for future carpentry endeavors. Not only am I ST-free, my private part is pristine. And one last comment that is the cherry on this update. Cake. Obviously my ex can rot in whichever circle of hell is designated for girls like me. I want to say second, but wasn't the most enthusiastic Dante student. But his parents are awesome people. And it makes me sick that they're so torn up about how terribly their son acted. There were a lot of "where did I go wrong"s tossed around when they called me. His dad was so mad he took the table back and told him he didn't deserve it. Sucks that the fiancé is a moron. But damn if she didn't have a great family. And great would be in-laws. I was initially thinking the fiancé's dad was being nice. But yeah. If he confiscated the table, his dad is taking it extremely seriously. As another woodworker. Yeah. That's a lot of TLC put into something that large. Big part of me thinks he is even worse than a cheating moron. Having a spouse that wouldn't mind you spending way more on tools than you really should is beyond any price. My husband is a framer who spent a lot of years building horse jumps on his family farm. When we first started dating, I mentioned offhandedly that I wish I could find a decent, low, sturdy table for my sewing machine because the thing was a beast that could shake IKEA furniture apart. 3 days later he came home, we moved together really fast. LOL. Which I know is generally a poor idea, but damn, are we a perfect fit with this unbelievably perfect table. Exactly what I was looking for. Solid enough you could throw it off a second floor balcony, and it would probably be intact, and instead damage whatever it landed on. Over a decade later, and it's the table in the master bathroom. Because it was the perfect height to act as a bench. 2. I have a new antique sewing machine that came with one of those tables that the machine can fold into. My husband and I moved in together 2 weeks into our relationship. Still going strong 17 years later. I tell people that we were young idiots in love who got spectacularly lucky that all of that didn't blow up in our faces. And here I thought my significant other, and I signing a year lease in college after only being together 6 months was kinda fast. We moved across the country 3 months into the relationship. And then bought a whole-ass house together 9 months in. We got significant other lucky that we still like each other after all these years. We were basically tiny babies. He was 22, and I was 23, when we met, who had no business doing any of this. Second story. I 18 female think my friend with benefits 20 male is cheating on his fiancée. Help. Oh my god. After reading this I really ducking hope everyone agrees that they may have just called it off but didn't post it or tell anyone. But the evidence is starting to make things add up. My friend with benefits will be referred to as James, and his alleged fiancée will be Jennifer. Names changed for privacy. I met James on a dating app and actually didn't know he had a son until I added him on Snapchat, and he sent a snap of him with a baby and a stroller. I asked why James didn't mention this, and he was all like, well, it isn't your business. I made sure he checked himself with that attitude, but eventually we were okay again. I understand his son is not my business, but felt it should be mentioned, but whatever. Moving forward. No mention of a baby mama. Girlfriend. An ending relationship. Nothing. He expressed that he didn't want a relationship with me, and just a friend with benefits thing. So we agreed to meet up, and we had X and 3 more separate times after that. I recall asking him when was the last time he had X, and he said before I had my son. Did this mean I was the first person after Jennifer? I don't know. At this point it's been almost 1 month of knowing each other now. James was comfortable sending me pictures of his son and telling me stuff about his life, but nothing about once being engaged or in a relationship. I had to find that out on my own. I actually wasn't initially suspicious of anything. I just wanted to see if he had any social media other than Snapchat, because he never posts on there. I went on Facebook and found his page, and it was just pictures of him and his son and some old friends. He last updated his profile picture with a pic of his son on February 27th. No post since then. I think okay. He's not active there anymore. Nothing suspicious in his bio or anything. I actually found Jennifer's page through his friends list because her profile picture was their son, who I recognized. At this point I was like, oh. Well, obviously that was his previous girlfriend, so why not check her page out? Their baby is cute. I go there and she has pictures of him. Her and their baby. And her Facebook status is in a relationship, it doesn't say with who though. So that was fishy. But in a relationship nonetheless. And I know her page is still active because she posted a picture on October 31st of their son on Halloween, which was literally 3 weeks ago. So I am like, what's going on here? Are they still in a relationship? I scrolled through her page, and they apparently got engaged on 2/23/21. Before that, there are posies of her maternity shoots, pictures of them together, etc. You may be thinking, okay, that was a while ago, maybe they cut things off. But on August 5th of this year, Jennifer posted a picture of James with the caption saying, "My handsome fiancé, okay fine." That was 3 months ago. Again, maybe they called it off. Then I see that on September 24th she posts, "Can't sleep without you." James's name is tagged on the post. 2 months ago. There is no way in hell they called it off in those 2 months. I am like, okay, what happened in October? October 17th is when I met James. So I try and see what happened in that timeline. But so far, all she has posted is pictures of her son. No indication of an ending an engagement, and no mention of James. So I am like, okay. Maybe October is where things got bad and ended, and he decided to get on a dating app, meet other people. But after seeing all this evidence, I had to be sure. Today, after some deep searching, I find James's Instagram. Unfortunately it's private, so I had to message him. I used a Finsta account and pretended to be a woman from Facebook, who was following Jennifer's Facebook account. I said something along the lines of, I stumbled across Jennifer's page, and was following her pregnancy, as well as their journey as a couple, and was wondering when you guys were getting married. After seeing Jennifer's engagement ring, he responded, I am sorry, who is this? I then said, "Ah, sorry, just a random from Facebook." I just happened to stumble across Jennifer's page on Facebook and wanted to finish the love story. I hate cliffhangers. I tried to sound like an older person as much as possible. But guess what he responded with? "Oh yeah. We're good, LOL, thanks for asking." What does that mean? I asked when you were getting married. I didn't want to seem suspicious, so I just said, "Oh, that is just wonderful, can't wait to see wedding photos soon. Have a great day, sir." I don't know if he's lying about still being in a relationship or cheating. I am so lost. If I confront him, what would I even say? Do I text his alleged fiancée and ask her? What if she talks to him? If he's going to be exposed? I want it to all blow up in his face. Nothing can go wrong. We'll post any updates. Thank you to anyone who read this far. Update. Friend with benefits confirmed to be cheating on his wife, plus she is leaving him tomorrow. Thank you everyone for your perspective on the situation. I cussed him out. Blocked him and told the wife everything. Duck that one dude who said not to say anything to the wife, by the way. She said she didn't know. At first she was upset and said that I broke up her family, and that I could have him, but I made it very clear that he lied to me from the beginning, and I hope he rots in hell. She then said she appreciated me telling her because he probably wouldn't have said anything, and that he probably has been lying to her about this stuff for way longer. She is moving to her home state with her son tomorrow morning. Apparently. He confessed after she confronted him as well. She deserved to know everything. Again. Duck that one guy who said not to tell her. I wasn't trying to be petty. Women stick up for women. She does not deserve to be with a lying, cheating, narcissistic a-hole. That is not father material. How long would this have gone on if I ghosted him and said nothing? She would have found out with another girl maybe, but by then she may have fallen too deep in love to leave him. Thank you again, Reddit. My previous relationship ended like this. Boyfriend was flirting with a girl. Girl then reached out to me with screenshots and showed genuine sympathy. I'm so thankful for that woman who saved me from being in that relationship any longer. I had a girl reach out once with a vague, "He's not who you think he is. Watch your back" message, but stupid me didn't have any proof, so I stayed with him until I found photo evidence for myself. Obviously it was my fault for staying. This was 10 years ago, and I've been with my soulmate for 8 years now, but I fully admit, I was a naive fool, but I sure would have appreciated a message like this. Would have saved me so much time. Third story. My boyfriend has a wife. I can't breathe. I 20 female met my boyfriend 23 male 3 months ago at work. We hit it off as friends but soon wanted to pursue a deeper relationship. We have been on dates. I've met some friends of his, and I have even spent the night at his house. Well, today I go to surprise him on Halloween with a little goodie basket at his house. I text him to come outside and he says he's not home. His car is there. The garage door is open. He is home. So I call him and his wife answers. I immediately say it was a work thing and sorry to bug them on the holiday. I'm heartbroken. I don't know what to do. He has called and texted me multiple times, but I'm just not in the mindset to respond. I also have tremendous guilt about this and couldn't imagine my future husband cheating on me. What should I do? Do I try to tell his wife? Do I give him a chance to explain? I hate men. First update. He came to my house. I have a ring, so I saw him walking up and immediately told him to leave, but he begged and persisted, so I went outside to talk to him. My roommates are home and aware of the situation. I wouldn't have done this if I was alone. The conversation was pretty one-sided. I told him I never want to see him again, and we are obviously though. He told me that they are separated and she was just over getting stuff. I doubt that is true, but I don't care either way. I told him not to talk to me at work unless it is essential. I also told him I want to tell his wife, and he said he doesn't care because they are already separated. He is pretty upset. So am I. I don't know how to get in contact with the wife. Second update. Thank you everyone for the great advice. After seeing a lot of comments reinforcing the idea that he may be telling mostly the truth, I called him. I told him I'm still angry and don't particularly want to talk to him right now. But I asked for her phone number and he gave it to me. So I'm going to text her now and set up a time to talk. I also asked if he would be willing to talk tomorrow when I'm calm, and he also agreed to that. I know not all of you will agree with my decision, so feel free to voice your opinion, but don't be disappointed if I don't follow it. Thanks again. Third update. I made a post a few days ago and had a lot of great input and people in general. The comments were shut off and a lot of people have messaged me asking for an update. So here it is. I spoke with the ex-wife and she was surprisingly kind and willing to talk. She didn't provide an apology for picking up his phone, but did explain why she was there. I met with boyfriend after work for dinner, and we were able to have a really great conversation. We discussed the future, exceptions, and other concerns. It was a really important conversation, and one we should have had at the beginning of us seeing each other. We decided to take this week for ourselves and go on a date on Friday. Overall, I'm really happy and hope this relationship lasts. Thank you again for everyone's advice. I welcome all opinions and respect them. I don't know how to feel about this one. If I were the OP, I would still be really upset that the boyfriend wasn't very upfront about his situation. Most people would not be okay to find out they were dating someone who was still married, even if they are separated. And he basically let OP find out in the worst possible way. This doesn't exactly scream happy relationship to me. It's also weird that he said he wasn't home. I have company would have been better. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.